Welcome back to Ward 9 Legacy Podcast with John William Wade and myself, Liam McLeod. Hi, John.
Hi, it's nice to see you again.
It's nice to see you again, too. Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
Yeah. So let's hit it right now. I want to know what your plans with Ward 9 are with all sectors of that. Well, let's talk about International Ave first, and then we'll go to Inglewood as well.
Okay, well, I mean, of course, my major introduction to Ward 9 has been through International Avenue because they have a BRZ, a Business Revitalization Zone. We've also been introduced to Inglewood because they have a BIA, which is similar. It's a different nomenclature, but it's similar, where they have a business community as well. And they represent 9th Avenue in that whole region of the city. So one of the things with the first day when I get elected, I will endeavor to have a lunch or a dinner or coffee with each person who wins the election. That's important because sometimes when my experience with International Avenue is we'll come up with an idea and we'll say, great, this would be so amazing. Like, this is such a creative idea. And then sometimes we hear, well, this person doesn't get along with that person, or they don't see eye to eye. And even though it would be a great idea for the area, because of some personal circumstances between some of the councillors, it doesn't get done. And they don't even attempt to. So knowing that, people are people, I want to make sure that I meet with each individual right away, right out of the chute. So that way we can understand where we are similar and where we are different.
Okay, so what kind of things have you done with International Ave in the past month or so? Like, have you been meeting with businesses? Or?
Yes, we've been meeting with all kinds of businesses. And not just International Avenue. I mean, we've been meeting with businesses down in Inglewood. In fact, I just took my two boys. They wanted to get out, and so I had a few hours. And I thought, this would be really cool to take them to the Army surplus store in Inglewood. And they thought it was the coolest thing. And they wanted to ask the man who worked there, what is this? Oh, this is a smoke grenade. Wow. And I said, we're not getting that. Yeah. But, they just really thought it was so cool to see all these different things. Then, of course, we went from there, just a short walk down to Recordland, because, again, I love music. I've tried to, impart that onto my sons. So if you ask my sons who their favorite musician is, it's Michael Jackson.
Nice.
They never even seen him, right? Because he's been passed away for a while. But that's their favorite musician because that's my favorite musician. And so we went down and I wanted to show them that, now, yes, of course, you download your music, but before there was something called a vinyl album or a CD. And so I got to show them all those things, and it was really cool to go into a record store like I used to when I was in high school and university. Then from there, we went down to Without Papers for some pizza. So it was a big Inglewood, 9th Avenue trip, and it's so wonderful. If you just take the time to walk around, there's all these great businesses.
I think the Ward 9 has got some really exciting stuff. Like, I don't think people realize most of the musical venues right now sit in Ward 9.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, like the Blind Beggar.
Yeah,
we do the effing 40s,
which
right?
I'm a part of. Yeah, I'm on stage for that. Yeah,
In the back alley.
And you're also a sponsor for that.
Yes.
Which has been
Well,
fantastic.
I believe in supporting local talent here in Calgary, because if we don't, it'll die, right? And that's one of the unfortunate things we've seen even on 9th Avenue. One of the biggest things that has been a big sore spot for the people in 9th Avenue has been that they came up with a petition. And see, this is what drives me nuts. They came up with a petition for 26,000 signatures. 26,000 signatures because they were upset that they were going to do some new rezoning, which would allow for towers in the middle of a very historical street known as 9th Avenue. In fact, that neighborhood won for top neighborhood in 2014 in all of Canada.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, all these things, you live, you learn, right?
I didn't even know how big Ward 9 was.
It's massive.
Like, it was huge. Like, when you told me that you have a ton of businesses, like I said, and venues, and just really neat businesses.
Yeah.
Like a lot of eclectic stuff
yeah,
that you
absolutely.
wouldn't see anywhere else.
100%. You go down 9th Avenue, you'll find stuff that you won't find anywhere else. I mean, we went down to another store, and this was really cool because I had never seen this, but they have an eco barbecue. And that's over at Bites on the corner of 9th Avenue there.
Eco barbecue.
An eco barbecue. I didn't know what it was either until I looked at it, and it's these bamboo sticks, and it's a one-time use barbecue that will last for 1 hour. And afterwards, you can bury it and it will biodegrade, the whole thing. And I thought, wow, I got to show my sons that too. Anything with fire, my son, especially my youngest son, he's the fire marshal of our family.
Oh, is he?
Oh, yeah.
The fire marshal, or he likes fire?
He likes fire.
I had a little brother like that. He burnt everything down. So let's talk about Renfrew. Like, I've never really been into Renfrew. What's that area like?
Well, Renfrew is just north of the river and just south of 16th Avenue. And so they went through a major change when they redid 16th Avenue. Mm-hmm. And now the interior is starting to change quite a bit. So, you're seeing some people who have lived there for a very long time, and now they're trying to see what's going on with their neighborhood, right? A house gets knocked down, 2 houses replace it. Or, you have some other people who are, not used to all these new types of things that are happening. So there's some difficulties that are happening in the area because, of course, when you do that, you start cutting trees down, mm-hmm. right? And so we now have got a problem in that area where some of the tree canopy is not as good as it used to be. And so we need to get back and focused on what made that area beautiful in the first place. It wasn't the buildings.
No.
It was the area, the location, right? So we need to start paying attention to having nice green foliage so that way it gives us shelter, it's good for the environment, and it makes it beautiful.
And then, so also you go down to Heritage, right? It's Dover as well, right? You've got like explain all the neighborhoods.
Okay, so you start. Okay, so if you want to start with the furthest north, it's Renfrew.
Yeah.
Then you go south to Bridgeland.
Okay.
Cross the river. You get into Inglewood and Ramsey.
So let's stop with Bridgeland right there. Explain Bridgeland as a neighborhood and a community to me.
Well, Bridgeland has gone through major changes. It used to have the old General Hospital, and they got rid of the hospital and started to really change everything. It reminds me a lot of actually Altadore mm-hmm. and Garrison Woods, because they used to have the Army base, which was a major thing there that drew a lot of employment. And then once they changed that, then it almost allowed the whole area to flourish and change. So you can get some actually my favorite, again, I lived in Japan. So my favorite Japanese restaurant is actually in Bridgeland.
Okay.
Yeah. If I really want to get more authentic Japanese food, that's where I go.
Well, that's good to know.
And sorry if there's other Japanese food around.
And now they're going to be coming to you and saying, hey,
but
try
the owner is, they're from Yokohama. So he was a sushi chef in Yokohama. His wife actually got her, she used to be a travel agent that I used to run tours from Japan to Canada.
Okay.
And just then afterwards, she left that and he bought that sushi shop and the rest is history.
Nice. And then how long have they been in there?
Ooh, they've been in there quite a long time. I don't even know how long.
It's nice to see a business still established in the neighborhood. So now we go from Bridgeland to?
So you cross the river and you get to Inglewood. So Inglewood is, that classic neighborhood. And then just a little bit further south, you get Ramsey.
Okay.
Okay, and Ramsey is a really cool place. They've got great coffee shops. They've got Scotsman's Hill, so you can look at, can watch, the fireworks in the summertime when the Stampede is having them. So it's a really cool area. A lot of artists live in Ramsey, so it's been really well known for that. And what makes Inglewood and Ramsey so special is that that's the starting point of Calgary. Mm-hmm. Like Fort Calgary is in there, mm-hmm. right? So here you get the essence and the start of Calgary, and then you move up the street all the way up Memorial to Southview, Dover, Albert Park, Radisson Heights, Forest Lawn, all the way to Applewood, right to the Ring Road. And so you have all this diversity. And that's what's so incredible is if you go on International Avenue and we actually have a tour on International Avenue called Around the World Tour. It's a bus tour. And you have to, if you want to be part of that tour, you have to basically book a couple months early. And they'll take you to all the different businesses, and you get to see the different tastes, the different types of clothing, and everything along the avenue. It's incredible. If you want authentic foreign food and you can't go in an airplane, that's your next best thing.
So let's talk about International Avenue. I've noticed that in the past year or two that it's kind of slid quite a bit. We were driving the other day and I noticed that there was garbage and needles and stuff like that. And
Yeah, we call that social disorder, yeah.
And I know that a lot of these businesses, like most of this Ward 9 and any other ward in Calgary, you pay top dollar to have your business protected. So what are you guys looking at doing for that to help those neighborhoods so that they are being protected as businesses and they're not worried about being broken into?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the reason why I figured, I was actually asked to run. And one of the reasons why I was asked to run is because...
Like the day after I talked to you about it?
Yeah, actually on effing 40s, I know. That was kind of,
I told you.
That was weird.
That was weird.
Because it's like, how did she know? Because I hadn't made any of this. I'd just been asked to run by some of the stakeholders of the area.
Yeah.
And it's because there's this real understanding that we're at a point where it's a time for change.
Yeah.
And, we respect what's happened by other people who have worked in the area, who have volunteered and dedicated their lives to public service as well. Mm-hmm. But again, you get to the point where it's time for change. And so...
But it's not just that area anymore. It's now trickling everywhere else, is what I've noticed.
It has been. And so when I looked at the police statistics on Calgary.ca, we've noticed that in the last 3 or 4 years, that there's been a substantial increase. In some cases, almost 900%. So 9 times the increase
in the past year
in social disorder and in crime. Now, I know there's some people who live in the area that are upset if I talk about it, but I'm not slagging it. That's the reason why I want to run, because I think we're backsliding. And it's not written off. We can get it back on track again and push it forward.
And it's about getting the people that are out in the streets mental help and helping them out and getting everybody where they need to be.
100%. So we need to have people feel that they are recognized and that they matter in Calgary, because each person who lives in that area matters.
Everybody in Calgary matters.
Absolutely.
For sure. It's a beautiful city. And I find that we've lost a lot of that too as well. I've lived here for years. And I find that people have lost sight of what it is to be a Calgarian.
Right. And so if I had to use a label for anybody who lives in Calgary, it won't be, there's some of the other labels that you'll hear. It'll be just Calgarian.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you've been around forever, right? Like you said. So you've lived in different areas. And I'm not saying you're old.
Okay.
You are a little bit older than me, though. Just a year.
Well, I'm not that old. But yes, I've grown up here in Calgary. It's my home. My family is all here. And so because of that, this is a legacy chance for me, right? I've got 2 younger boys who are 9 and 7 years old, and they watch everything. You have to be careful because they really do watch
Children
everything.
pay attention to
and they listen. And so if they're paying attention like I know they are, and I want them to see their dad step up and say, hey, let's not complain. Let's just make this better. And we will.
Well, I look forward to hearing in the next podcast what exactly is going to go on for the rest of this. And people need to volunteer. You need volunteers, do you not?
Oh, absolutely.
Volunteers, donations. Take pride in your city. And you don't even have to be in Ward 9 to do it. This is just a first, this is just the first of it. This is a first step.
Exactly. And that's what I try to talk to people, because I've had a lot of people, because of course I've worked all over the city. And some of the people I've worked with have said, oh, I'm really sorry, man. I live down in Auburn Bay, so I'm not in your ward. So I'm sorry, if I can't really help you out. No. The way city council works is there's 14 votes. They're all equal votes. Yeah. And then you have the 15th, which is your mayor. And if you have people that you have things you want to get through the city, you need more than just one person to think like you do, right? You need the whole city council to start thinking like you do. So if you see a value in what we're doing, we would love to have people volunteer, especially young people, would be great to have them volunteer and have their voices heard, because sometimes they get ignored. That's unfortunate.
Well, I look forward to door knocking with you. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And we'll
Thank
see you next time.
Absolutely.